My name is Denise Villalobos, and I will be talking about the scope of assessment for iReady. The purpose or goal for iReady is to analyze the students' strengths and weaknesses in the areas of math and reading. It provides the students with personalized learning according to the diagnostics exam, and then it also monitors their progress throughout the year. It can be considered a formative assessment because it is a low stakes method of monitoring the students' progress during instruction, and it provides the teachers and the students ongoing feedback. It can also be seen as a diagnostics assessment because it identifies the students' existing knowledge, their strengths, and their weaknesses, and it guides the instruction instead of grading them or giving them a grade. The target population can be from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. The administration is online and it is computer based. The exam is untimed and the students can even pause or resume. On this slide, I'm highlighting the content and structure of the assessment. The question difficulty is dependent on whether the student is getting correct or incorrect answers. As they're getting correct answers, the difficulty increases. As they are missing questions, the difficulty decreases. The reading components for the exam include phonological awareness, phonics, high frequency words, vocabulary, comprehension of literature, and comprehension of informational texts. For mathematics, they focus on number and operations, algebra and algebraic reasoning or thinking, geometry, and the measurement of data. In this portion of my slide, I will be analyzing the spelling or high frequency word portion of the exam, which provides the students with the letters they need to use in order to spell the word thanks, which is something that I already use when I differentiate spelling assessments. On the second portion, we're focusing on phonics, and it's asking students to substitute a sound in order to create another word. And the third part, I did focus on mathematics, which involves a drop down menu. I'm not necessarily a big fan of this one because, as we know, when students are assessed online, they often just click and click and click, and this can be detrimental to whether they get the correct answer or not.
The administration process for iReady includes scheduling the adaptive assessment, which is usually at the beginning, middle, and end of the school year. It is an adaptive test, so it's in a computer adaptive format. The test starts with questions at a difficulty level based on the student's grade. The assessment is untimed, but it is 100 questions. It is administered again 3 times per school year under teacher supervision in a classroom setting. Teachers monitor the assessment to ensure students remain on tasks. Some potential concerns about how it is administered. It could be time management concerns. Students may rush through the assessment because they simply don't want to, especially for young students. It may be inappropriate for them to remain on a computer screen, iPad screen, and taking this test because they feel rushed or they feel like they must complete the task quickly. The iReady diagnostic is widely described as a valid and reliable assessment tool by curriculum associates and the National Center on Intensive Intervention. It has demonstrated validity through strong correlations with state summative tests and reliability via consistent results. Yet critics raise concerns about its use of technology, primarily for young students, and potential data privacy issues. As far as reliability, the National Center on Intensive Intervention has given iReady the highest possible rating for reliability. The system's adaptive technology provides accurate and reliable growth metrics, allowing for continuous tracking of students' progress. Positive technical qualities of iReady include adaptive technology. It is highly rated, its evidence-based design, and its strong correlation with state tests. iReady is highly rated as an academic screening and progress monitoring tool by the National Center on Intensive Intervention for grades K through 8th, although schools may choose or districts may choose to use it up until 12th grade. The diagnostic assessment adjusts question difficulty based on students' responses, pinpointing each student's strengths and weaknesses accurately. However, there are criticisms and limitations. There is the concern of overuse and burnout, especially when students are looking at a screen to take these diagnostics. There could be inaccurate data due to students rushing. They may be limited teacher visibility. Teachers do not have access to these questions, and the diagnostic doesn't tell teachers which questions or what type of question the student got incorrect. It just tells you what level they are in each category. And it is also a lengthy assessment. Students might feel, again, burnt out, overused for testing on 100 questions.
Hi, good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about the scope of assessment. IStation is usually a formative or diagnostic test that is given to students in the computer from grades K through 8th grade. The administration of this test is given usually by the homeroom teacher or also the reading specialist. Most district usually focuses on the beginning, middle, and end of the year testing, but also districts will also test monthly if needed. In this slide, you could see that the levels of iStation, red is the intensive intervention, yellow would be the supplemental intervention, and green is where we would like to have our students, which is the recommended differentiation for the high quality care instruction. The purpose of iStation is to support assessment and to help the students reach their skilled level. It does personalize them through an assessment curriculum that is appropriate for the student, and it strengthens their skills such as in phonics, vocabulary, comprehension, fluency, and spelling. The goal of iStation is for the students to grow as independent, confident readers, to practice and develop their skills, and as well, they could monitor and see where their progress is taking them. And last, the targeted population. Again, it is for students kinder through 8th grade, but it is also for emergent readers and bilingual and dual language students.
Hi, everybody. I'll be talking about the analysis. So, my main focus would be validity, reliability, and fairness. So, for validity, iStation assessments are aligned with state standards and are designed to measure foundational skills in reading and math. However, for emerging bilingual language complexity can interfere with the accurate measurement of content knowledge. So, the assessments aim to measure literacy skills, but for bilingual students, performance may reflect language proficiency rather than the actual reading ability or comprehension. So as far as reliability, iStation demonstrates high internal consistency and tests retest reliability, meaning scores are stable and consistent over time. However, reliability can be compromised for bilingual learners if language barriers cause inconsistent performance across sessions, especially when students are developing academically in English. So iStation is fair. It includes a Spanish version of its assessment, which is a strength for dual language programs. Yet fairness issues arise when students are either assessed in English before they're ready or the linguistic demands of the test items are not adapted to bilingual learners. For example, the reference of idiomatic language may be disadvantaged for students of the diverse backgrounds.
Research indicates that ISIP, or the iStation's indicators of progress, are reliable predictors of students' performance on end of year state tests, much like STAR in Texas or the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment. The reliability of iStation's assessments has been established across different student groups, including ELLs or emergent bilinguals with or without reading deficiencies. Overall, iStation shows moderate to strong evidence of reliability and validity, particularly for reading skills. A North Texas study in 2008 through 2009 provided evidence of iStation's reliability and validity in key reading areas like phonemic awareness, vocabulary, and comprehension. An NEWA map comparison study in 2020 confirmed ISIP's ability to align with MAP growth scores. There is some concern due to a review by the Colorado Department of Education. Some of iStation's reliability criteria were marked as unmet, such as concerns over passive learning and limitations in accurately identifying at risk students. There is some situations where an individual's progress might appear to suddenly jump, which indicates inaccurate measuring.
Hello. When talking about the limitations of these instruments, iReady and iStation, and when they are used to assess emergent bilinguals, there is some controversy. iReady does not do the diagnostics in Spanish. However, iStation does have the ISIP in Espanol, but it is not as proficient as when they deliver the English assessment. When we talk about our emergent bilingual students, they need to have an assessment that is culturally, ethical, linguistically relevant to how they learn. Most of our students come into our classrooms with no knowledge of the English language, and it is difficult to assess them in a language that is foreign to them. So iReady does have the English component, but does not do the diagnostics for our Spanish speakers. iStation does have the ISIP in Espanol, but is also very limited.